I disagree that the public would get a shock factor because, number one, the public denies. It is so horrendous that, like FBI Director Edgar Hoover said in his time, that the individual is handicapped by coming face to face with conspiracy so monstrous that he cannot believe it exists. So I think most people would just brush it off. They wouldn't believe it anyway, even if it comes in the evening news. No panic. Absolutely, I don't believe in that.
Now, you've studied this subject for decades. When did the first mind control device come about?
Well, strangely enough, I was in Germany this May, and there was a conference on non-lethal weapons, which was very, very expensive, and I believe I was the only one probably who paid himself or herself the whole trip and the fee to attend, because everybody else seemed to be connected to a weapons factory or to the military or to the police or to a scientific community like University of Moscow, etc.
Right.
So there it came out also everything about non-lethal weapons. And of course they're lethal, and that's always, a hazardous word, non-lethal, but it is lethal if the frequency is hard enough. And there an American colonel was saying, for instance, that the first mind control device was already developed by James Matthews in 1801. 1801. Now, of course, I don't know any details about it, but for sure details are from 50s and 40s in the U.S. About mind control and how they are using it to control all behavior of the individual who is a target for whatever reason.
Now, was that Colonel John Alexander who said that?
Yes, that was Colonel John Alexander. He said that. I wrote it down, 1801, because it was so flabbergasting. But there's a list in internet about major electromagnetic mind control projects from Leading Edge International Research Group, and there it starts from 1952, Project Moonstruck by CIA, when they already put electronic implants into the brain and teeth of people, and the main purpose was tracking mind and behavior control, conditioning, programming, covert operations. And it was done by electronic stimulation of the brain, so-called ESB. And then it went on and on. There are many, many projects from Mac Ultra CIA project to Project Orion and Delta, etc. So it's old technology, and now it's coming to the public a little bit as new technology. And thus they're saying that the technology that comes out from the military and military medical even research, I would say, is about half a century old. And it's always presented as new. There's a Professor Warwick in Great Britain who's been lecturing in Finland, for instance, and he claims to be the first doctor who has and a professor who has put an electronic implant, a microchip in his brain so he could discuss things telepathically with his wife. He also claims that he was the first one to put it into his hand so that he could just, with the chip, open the garage doors, etc. Now that's just nicely said BS, because he can't be the first one to put in the chip into his brain because it was already done in 52.
Right.
But there are professors, there are scientists who deliberately or not knowing give total disinformation.